Cane refining in the European Union is a successful manufacturing industry that sits alongside beet and isoglucose as a third model of sweetener production in Europe. Today we're fighting for our lives. The big challenge we face is that the legislation in the European Union treats us unfairly. In 2006, the Commission allowed anybody to become a cane refiner on the basis that imports from some of the world's poorest countries, that are the only countries allowed to supply Europe's sugar market free of import duty, would double by now. They haven't. They stand this year at about 1.8 million tonnes, and the Commission had forecast that they'd be 3.3 million. This means that cane refining businesses like ours all around Europe are operating at around 60% of capacity, and this simply isn't sustainable in the long term for any sophisticated manufacturing business whose fixed costs account for the majority of its costs. People will often ask us whether we're after special treatment, and it's really important to understand that it's not special treatment we're after, but fair treatment. We, as an industry in Europe, are a sugar manufacturing business. We compete with the other models of sugar manufacturers in Europe that exist under the same legislation, and we just want parallel and fair terms with them. Cane refining in Europe is really important, not just because of the refineries themselves, but for some of the big policy reasons in Europe. We contribute to consumer choice, we contribute to a competitive sugar market, a market that the competition authorities in Europe are already concerned about concentration of. We are really important in terms of being a stable and long-term market to the developing world, and we also make sure that we contribute to food security by producing a basic foodstuff through a different raw material and manufacturing model. And last but not least, of course, there's 4,500 high-quality manufacturing jobs around Europe in cane sugar refineries that depend on the European Union making sure that cane refiners get a fair deal.